So, starting off with our class today, our peak pose is crow pose. So everything that we'll be doing is leading up to stretching and warming our body for crow pose. So coming to a tabletop position, we're going to begin by exhaling into cat. So round your spine, and as you round, really push through your fingers, okay, and look towards your navel. Perfect. Now we're going to inhale and come to cow. So arch your back and slightly look up. Try not to tract your neck back too much, just a gentle look up. Perfect. And exhale back into cat. Really round through the spine. Look at your navel. That's perfect. And inhale, we go back to cow. Gently look up. Okay, not too much. Perfect. Exhale into cat. Now I want you to try and get an even rounder stretch. So really stretch through your hands. Perfect. From here, I want you to gently rock backwards and forwards from your knees. Just a gentle rock, so not so far back, and then come a little bit forward, yeah. And we do that a few times. Keeping the roundness of your spine. So remember to look to your navel and continue to breathe. Okay. On the last one, I want you to meet me at the top. So come to the top here. Okay. Continue to round your spine. And we're going to lean forward a little bit more. So lean forward with the roundness of your spine. Look towards your baby. Your belly button, yeah. Round through the spine a little bit more, okay. So what this is doing is stretching out our wrists, getting them all warmed up for crow pose. Meet me back in the tabletop position. Perfect, with a neutral spine. Okay, so from here, we are going to raise your right leg back, okay, right leg back. Keep your left leg bent on the ground, yeah, so just your right leg back, perfect. And then from here, we're going to bring your right knee to your right upper tricep and hook it. Try to get it as high up as possible. Inhale, right leg rises back. And exhale, back to tricep. Perfect. Every time, try and get it a little bit higher. Really hook it. Exhale, right leg rises back. Amazing. And I'll bring right leg to right tricep again. Okay, and hold. Now, I want you to place your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Okay, perfect. Coming into lizard. Okay. Option here for deeper stretch, if you want, you can come down onto your elbows, if that's okay for you. Amazing. Let that right knee really flip open, yeah, to get extra stretch. Amazing. And we're here for a few breaths. From here, ground back onto your hands, so come to your hands. So from here, I want you to come onto your onto your left knee, and I want you to tuck your toes underneath, straighten your left leg, okay? And now step forward to the outside of your mat, bring your left leg here into a Malasana squat, perfect. So hands come to heart center, and we squat down into Malasana squat. With your triceps, really push your legs out. Okay, and we're here for a few breaths. Your right foot now steps back out, right foot back out, and we come to lizard on the left-hand side. Perfect. Okay, so we're here. If you want, come back down to your elbows if you did that on your previous side. Amazing. And let the left leg really turn out. Great. Come back onto your arms, onto your hands, place them on the mat. And now before we move back, I want you to take your left leg and hook it on your left tricep, like we did, yeah? Perfect, hook it so it's balancing. And from here, you're going to sweep it back down and out, yeah, very fantastic. Then we're going to move again, so flow exactly like we did on the right side, so left leg to left tricep, perfect. And sweep your leg back out. Exhale, left leg comes to left tricep. And inhale, left leg sweep back out. Exhale, one more time, left leg to left tricep, hook it, hold, and step forward. Perfect. Okay. Right foot into a Malasana squat again, so step to the outside of your mat, come down into your Malasana squat, okay, and try and get really compact, so bring your shoulders a little bit down more, yeah, just so that your shoulders are almost in line with your knees, so you get a really nice compressed pose for crow. Great. And from here, we're going to push through the mat, okay, to come to a standing position. So hands remain in prayer. Push forward to meet to the top and standing. Keep your arms where they are. From here, we're going to move into a curtsy squat through to the right-hand side to meet at the back of the mat. So I want you to come onto the balls of your feet, keep the positioning, and slowly move towards the right as you swivel yourself to face the back of the mat. Keep on swiveling. Perfect. Once you get here, you're going to slowly bend forward and squat into that. And we're here for 2 breaths. On the exhale, I want you to rise. Come to the balls of your feet. You're going to begin to swivel through center, face the left-hand side of the mat, and again, we're going to squat down. And we're here for 2 breaths. On the exhale, rise up. Come through center. Hands can meet down into Tadasana and feet together. Okay. And we're going to meet in Tadasana. So in Tadasana, I want you to lift your chest up. Okay. Roll your shoulders back as if they're touching each other and down. Okay. And we're here for a few breaths. Then we're going to move into Utkatasana chair pose. So I want you to bend your knees and sweep the ground with your fingertips as we meet in chair. Okay. So get down a little bit lower, and we've got to make sure that all our weight is in our heels. So good test is try and wiggle your toes off the mat. Perfect. Okay. Arms a little bit higher in line with the ears. Great. From here, bring your hands into prayer, heart center, and we're going to go down into Malasana squat again with our feet together. So open up your knees as we move forward. Again, a nice compressive pose. So round your spine, look forward, really round the spine, and try and make contact with your knees and your, there we go. Perfect. From here, ground your hands onto the mat in front of you. Okay, an option to either step or jump back into plank. Maybe bring your arms your hands a tiny bit forward. Yes, perfect. So from here, we're going to flow into downward dog, but people often rush into downward facing dog. And the whole purpose of downward facing dog is to really build strength in your arms and your shoulders. So I'm going to count to 5, and we're going to go downward facing dog for 5 seconds. So 5, start going into downward facing dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Option here to pedal out your legs. It is our first down dog for the session. So pedal out the legs, do whatever feels good for your body. Amazing. Okay. A nice adjustment here is often with downward facing dog, our tailbones drop and we actually need to keep them high. So a nice way to adjust that is bend your knees. Okay. Think of lifting your tailbone up. Yes. And as you get that tailbone up, now lengthen your legs. Okay. And forget, don't drop into your shoulders. So try and get your shoulder blades even more aware. And look tiny bit down. Perfect. Okay, so from here we're going to go into 3-legged dog. So right leg rises. If you got space. And bring your right knee to your right upper tricep. And really squeeze. Perfect. Inhale, right leg rises up. Okay, keep that leg straight and active. And inhale, right leg comes to right tricep again and really hook it. Inhale, right leg rises back up. And exhale, bring right knee to right upper tricep again. This time I want you to really squeeze it. Now look forward, focus on your drishti and lean forward a little bit more. Perfect. A little bit more if you can. And come to 3-legged dog. And back down to downward facing dog. Again, option here to pedal out your legs a little bit if you wish to. Maybe turn your neck, just get some mobility. Yeah. So from here, I want you to come into your Malasana squat again with your feet together. So feet together and come down into your Malasana squat. From here, we're going to move back up into our Utkatasana chair pose. So knees bent, sweep the ground with your hands and knees in chair pose. Come back up to standing in Tadasana, so straighten and hands to side. From here again, we're going to move into our chair pose. So bend knees and sweep the mat with your fingertips, chair pose. From here, bring hands to heart center as we move back down into Tadasana. So open up your legs and move back down into Tadasana. Perfect. Get a nice rounding of the spine. That looks great. I want you now to plant your palms on the mat as you have the option here to step or jump back into plank. Okay. And again, we're going to flow onto the other side. So we're going to move for 5 seconds back into down dog. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Again, if you want to make the adjustments, make your tailbone a little bit higher, bend your knees. Okay, get this tailbone up, amazing, and I'll straighten knees. Maybe bring your arms a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit, perfect. And now really try lengthen through the spine, drop your head a bit. Perfect. Okay, we're going to repeat the same side on the left hand side. So left leg rises, keep it nice and straight and active. And we're going to bring left leg onto left tricep and hook. Amazing. Inhale, left leg rises back up to three-legged dog. And exhale, left leg to left tricep and hook. Really squeeze it. Amazing. Inhale, left leg rises up to three-legged dog. And exhale, bring left leg knee to left tricep. This time we're going to squeeze and hold it for a little bit longer. So while you're here, I want you to lean forward as much as you can. Try almost get onto the tippy toe of your right foot. Perfect. And from here, we're going to move back into three-legged dog and downward facing dog. Okay. Bend your knees. Look forward, an option to step or jump to the top of the mat. Okay. From here, we come down into our Malasana squat, so hands to heart prayer. Open up through Malasana squat and really get nice and grounded. Round through the spine and try and get as compact as possible, rounding that spine. From here, we're going to move into Utkatasana chair pose. So, come up a slightly bit, yeah? Then really brush the ground with your hands and your knees in chair pose. Perfect. Try to get more back and lower. Perfect, that's amazing. And now straight into Malasana squats again. So we open up our knees, come through center, round the spine, and we're here for a few breaths. Come up to standing as we go into high mountain. Press through the feet. High mountain. Big inhale and exhale. Release hands down to side and stand into Tadasana. Okay. Whew. You're fine. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so maybe come a little bit forward onto your mat. Okay, so now we're going to move into our moon salutations. So, bring arms to rise in high mountain, okay, into prayer, and option for still keep it up, and yeah, option to release index finger, like that, amazing. So from here, we're going to lengthen, so think of someone pulling your fingertips up, we're going to lengthen to the right hand side and bend over for a half moon. Yes, keeping everything in line. And back to center. And before we move again, we're going to reach up, lengthen through the spine, and then come to the left-hand side for half moon on the left. Come back to center. And from here, I want you to take a big step with your left foot into goddess squat. So big step like that, and we're going to come into goddess. Okay. So from here, we're going to turn the right leg 90 degrees, okay? Straighten your arms. Left foot comes in 30 degrees as we prepare for triangle. So lean forward to the room as much as you can. And when you can't go anymore, you're going to swivel your hands into triangle. So right knee on right shin, and we look up. While you're here, try and think of leaning back and really extending. Yes, that's perfect. Amazing. And we're here for a few seconds. From here, I want you to swivel your back foot to face the front of the mat. Windmill your arms down to the mat, okay? square off your hips as we come to pyramid. Perfect. So try and get your head as close to your shin as possible. Okay, you've got to square these hips just a tiny. Yes, that's it. Perfect. So from here, you're gonna bend into your right knee. Okay, drop your left knee down, and we're gonna come into Ujjayi, so low squat with the back bend. So again, sweep the ground with your hands. Get to the top. We're gonna reach up, and then we're gonna go into a slight back bend. From here, ground your hands. Now we're gonna swivel onto our foot to face the side of the mat. Okay, so swivel into Skandasana. So you're on your right leg, left toes pointing up. And I want you to place your hands in front of you and do a slight forward bend for Skandasana to get a really nice stretch. Yeah. From here, we're going to move through to center. So walk your hands through to center as we move to the other side. So Skandasana on the left. And again, hands in front of you and fold over to get a nice stretch. Come up onto your hands. We're now going to swivel to face the back of the mat, ground the right knee, and again we're going to meet in Ujjayi. So sweep the mat with your hands, lift up as you get to the top, and then slight backward bend. Perfect. So you can place your hands back on the mat, so come to here, and you're going to straighten both your legs to come back into pyramid on the other side. Perfect. And we're here for a few breaths. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into a triangle pose. So, swivel the back foot so that it's 30 degrees. Your right foot's already out. Hands to prepare for triangle. Again, we're going to lean forward as much as we can. And when you can't go anymore, swivel hands and we go into triangle. Remembering to really twist the chest open. Amazing. That's perfect. And from here, we're going to step straight back into goddess pose. So you can keep your stance and straight back into a nice goddess pose. Okay. Right leg now steps forward to the front of the mat. Meet in high mountain. Big inhale and exhale to Tadasana. Amazing. Remembering to just lift our chest open, roll our shoulder blades back and down. And we're here for a few breaths. We're now going to go through the entire moon salutation on the left-hand side. So again, raise arms up. Palms facing together, release index fingers. We're now going to stretch up and bend towards the left-hand side for half moon on the left. Coming through center, reach up again, and bend to the right-hand side for half moon on the right. Perfect. Come through center. I want you now to take a big step with your right leg into goddess pose again. So step into goddess, arms release. Perfect. Okay. And now we're going to repeat it on the left side. So left leg should be sort of at 90 degrees. Right leg 30 degrees. Arms straight. Again, we lean forward as much as we can. Lean forward. And once you can't go anymore, swivel. Perfect. And look up. Jeez, your triangle's amazing. Okay. From here, we're going to swivel the back foot. So swivel your back foot in. Square off your hips. Ground your hands down to the mat as we meet in pyramid pose. So again, try and get that traction with your head. Yes. Amazing. Okay. From here, I want you to again squat into your left knee, ground your right. Yeah. And we're going to meet in Ujjayi. So sweep your hands up as we go into a slight backward bend. Perfect. Bring hands back down to mat. Okay. I want you now to swivel again to face the front of the mat in Skandasana. So swivel, just swivel. So from here, yeah, we're just going to swivel. So squat down, so stay low. Okay. Right leg points up, hands ground onto mat, and a slight forward bend. Making sure that your left leg is pointing out. From here, we're going to move through center onto the right hand side for Skandasana. Again, slide forward bend. Perfect. From here, I want you to swivel to the front of the mat. Okay, ground your back knee, so ground that knee. And again, we're going to go into Anjaneyasana. So sweep the mat with your fingertips, lean up before you go back. Now go back for a slight back bend. Perfect. Hands come to mat. And we're going to step up, so straighten both legs as we go into pyramid. Amazing. Again, just making sure that you square your head. There we go. And from here, we are going to swivel the back foot. So your left foot swivels 30 degrees inwards. Come up to standing. Hands are straight. As we go into triangle. So again, reach forward and then swivel into triangle. Okay. You can release out of that and come into a nice big goddess pose. Inhale and exhale, goddess. From here, I want you to step to the front of the mat with your left leg. So nice big step up into a high mountain. Big inhale and exhale, Tadasana. Perfect. You okay? Yeah? Cool. Okay, so moving to the last sort of sequence before we move on to our peak pose. So we're going to begin with taking your left leg over your right leg, okay? So standing figure 4 like this. Hands come to prayer, okay? And we're going to gently pivot forward as we sort of squat into it, okay? Focus on your drishti so that you can balance it. Get your focal point, and we're here for 2 breaths. And slowly begin to come up. Perfect. Ground your left leg. And with your left leg, take a big step out into star pose. So star, both legs are straight and arms are straight. Okay. From here, I want you to turn your feet slightly in, okay, as we go in for a wide-legged forward fold. So hands go out to the side, and we begin to pivot our body forward. Okay. Eventually releasing our hands onto the mat. Make sure that your hands are stacked directly beneath your shoulders. That's perfect. Try see if you can get your stance out a little bit wider. Yeah, okay. So from here, I want you to walk your hands a tiny bit forward, maybe just one distance forward, perfect. Come onto the balls of your feet, okay? And I want you to now look forward, so focus on your drishti till about here, and get the sensation of what you're going to have in crow. So slightly on the balls of your feet, try to rock forward a little bit more, gaining that strength of your shoulders. Rock forward a little bit more, okay. Bring your, bring your heels back down. And you're going to slowly begin to rise back up with your arms straight. Okay, and again, we're going to go into triangle. So, right leg, 90 degrees. Your left leg is at 30 degrees. We're going to lean forward as much as we can, perfect, and pivot into triangle. From here, we're going to turn your back foot in, square your hips into pyramid. Okay. And from here, again, bend into your right knee, ground your left knee, and we're going to go into Anjaneyasana. So sweep the mat with your arms, reach up, and then we go into a slight back bend. Okay, from here, ground your hands onto the mat. Okay, I want you to now slightly step out your right toe. So we're here, get your right toe out a bit, perfect. And we're now going to tuck our toes in for the left foot and hop forward into Malasana squat. Okay, and again, we're here for a few counts, so sit nice and comfortably. Push those knees out, lengthen through the spine, and take a deep breath in and Left foot steps back. Okay. We're now going to go into a Skandasana. Okay, so again, face this side. You're going to swivel on to your right foot, so it's a nice squat. Perfect. Okay. Again, hands in front of you, and fold forward into your Skandasana. Okay. Come up and walk your hands through center as we go on to the other side. Perfect. Come up, place your hands on the mat, and now swivel to face the back of the mat. Okay, ground hands on either side. We're going to go into Ujjayi. So again, sweep the floor with your hands up and a slight back bend. Okay. Bring hands back down onto mat. We're going to step up into pyramid pose. So again, both legs straighten. Yeah? Perfect. And pyramid. Okay. From here, we're going to take our right leg, turn it 30 degrees out, come up to standing, straighten our legs, and go straight back into triangle. So lean forward and pivot our hands to triangle. Perfect. I want you to step again into your goddess pose. So wide step, come back down and squat. And make sure that your legs are pointing outwards. So really activate that. Maybe tuck your tailbone in a tiny bit as well. So tuck your tailbone in, yeah. And then this is, yes, that's perfect. From here, take a big step with your right leg to the back of the mat. Yeah, to face back of the mat, into high mountain. So inhale, high mountain, and exhale, meet in Tadasana. Okay, you still fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to repeat everything that we just did, but on the left-hand side. So, right knee now comes over your left shin for standing figure 4. Perfect. Hands come to center. And we're going to slowly pivot forward as we squat down into our standing figure 4. Amazing. Remember to focus on your drishti. That's perfect. You can now stop and you hold for 2 breaths. Gently come up. Perfect. Release your leg, your right leg. And now step to the side of the mat into goddess pose. Into star. Sorry. Sorry. So from here, right into star. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, and we're going to do the same now. So we are going to point your feet slightly inwards as we come to our wide-legged forward fold.
Keep moving it back.
Good. So star. And we're going to go into our forward fold. So gently forward fold. Hands come to the top of the mat again. Place and leg, amazing. Okay. And now try and keep your hands straight. So your elbows straight. Yeah, perfect. Now come onto the balls of your feet and lean forward. Try lean forward. Remember focusing on your drishti. And what we're trying to get here is a sensation of leaning forward when we go into crow. Perfect. Release heels back down to the floor. And slowly begin to rise. Rise up. Okay. With your hands out. Okay. So now left toe turns to the front of the mat, 90 degrees. Right toe turns inwards, 30 degrees. And again, we're going to go into our triangle. So lean forward, and pivot our hands as we go into triangle. Perfect. From here, pivot your right leg to face the back of the mat. Both hands ground on the mat as we come to pyramid. And again, just squaring off the hips a tiny bit. Perfect. From here, I want you to squat into your leg. Right knee drops down as we move into Ujjayi. So, brush the mat with your hands, reach up, and then begin to bend backwards into a slight backward bend. Perfect. Ground hands onto mat. And I want you to now, excuse me, your left leg moves out a tiny bit. Yeah. Right toes tuck under. Straighten your leg. And you're going to hop back into a Malasana squat. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Remembering to really push your knees away. Try lengthen through your spine with your wide-legged Malasana squat. Perfect. And we're here for a few breaths. Okay, so ground hands onto the mat. I want you now to step back with your right leg. Okay. And we're going to pivot again to face the front of the mat for our Malasana, for our Skandasana, sorry. So you're here. We're going to pivot to the side. Right leg faces up. Okay. I want you to maybe try challenge yourself now and balance. So bring hands to prayer. You can see me. Yeah. And now you're going to move forward without touching the mat. Oh. Move across into, yeah, perfect. Amazing. And stay there for a bit. Just for 2 breaths. You can now pivot to the front of the mat. Okay, so you can release your hands. Release your hands. Pivot to the front of the mat. Perfect. And again, we go into Ujjayi-asana. So sweep the mat with your hands. And we come to a backward bend. Perfect. Hands come onto mat. Ground them onto mat. And we lift up as we move into pyramid pose again. So straighten legs. Square off hips. And try and get that forehead to the shin. Perfect. From here, you can rise up, pivot your right knee 30 degrees as we go into triangle. So come up, straighten legs, arms wide out to the side, and again you can begin to flow into triangle. Perfect. From here you can release, and we go into nice big goddess squat again. It's a nice goddess squat. Amazing. And once you're there, you can do a nice big step with your left leg to the front of the mat again. So you're here, nice big step to the front of the mat into high mountain. Big inhale and exhale meets in Tadasana. Okay, and we now move on to our peak pose, which is crow pose. So we're going to meet in Utkatasana. So maybe come to sort of the middle of your mat. So we're going to bend our knees, sweep our fingertips onto the mat as we meet in Utkatasana. Get down really nice and low and back. Okay, activating those hands. Yeah, stay down in actual pose, sorry. Stay there, perfect. From here, bring hands to heart center. And we're going to go down into Malasana squat again. So open up your knees. Yes, perfect. And perfect. Okay, so from here, we're really rounding the spine. I want you now to ground your hands, keeping this, yes, perfect. Release your hands so they don't need to be together, okay? And the whole point is we really want to get our knees in the crease of our shoulders as we go into crow. So come up onto your tippy toes a little bit, okay, because we're going to begin moving forward onto crow. I want you to first rock back and forwards to get the sensation. So come a little bit more onto your tippy toes. And try lift up your tailbone a tiny bit. Lift up your tailbone. Yeah. Okay. And just start rocking backwards and forwards. Perfect. When you feel like you've got the balance and a proper hook, you are going to lift one foot off the ground and then begin to lift the other. Perfect. Perfect. Amazing. Yay. That's incredible. And release back down. That's incredible. Okay, and let's go for it one more time. So
That was a really good transition into getting into it.
yeah, that's so nice because you're so compact, yeah? It makes it really easy. Okay, and again we go into crow. Perfect. That's amazing. Wow! Woohoo! Fantastic. And we can come from here, we can come back up to high mountain. Maybe just walk to the top of your mat and meet in Tadasana. Okay. Nice big breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Really open your chest again. Make sure to roll your shoulders back and down.
just breathe.
Perfect. Well done. And that's the class. Thank you.